Hello and welcome to the American Dream TV. I'm your host, Chelsea Boone. Today we are in San Antonio meeting with Chris Lieck. From Sunset Strips to his powerful comeback, he's here to share with us today his amazing story and his musical journey. Let's hop inside. All right, so today we're sitting here with Chris Lieck. Chris, thank you so much for meeting with us today.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, so tell me, how did you get started?
Well, I started in the music business when I was really young, and I wanted to say that I grew up in San Antonio, ended up in Hollywood. We lived in a house. It was a glass house with an atrium in the middle, and my mom had creative people always in there, but she also had politicians, civil rights leaders, artists, actors from New York. So I was subjected to a crazy life in the 60s in San Antonio, but the world that existed in my house was from all over the world. It was people from London and everything. So I was kind of subjected to this really artistic environment. But all my family were attorneys and judges. So my mom was convinced that I was going to be a lawyer, even to the day she died, when I'm already, I could have retired from the music business. She's in the car telling me, now you're going to go to law school, right? Right? So I'm 40 years old at the time, or 39, and she's telling me that. So I knew at 6 years old I was going to be in the music business, and I never did anything else the rest of my life, and that's kind of a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It's like it planted the seed for you.
Right. But I was turned on all kinds of music. Think about it. Acid rock, pop rock, Michael Jackson, Motown I was a fan of. I really got into alt jazz. I got into lots of things, Dave Brubeck. So I was kind of subjected to a lot of different music. Mm-hmm. So that helped me melody write. I think it helped me be able to become a songwriter, because I became a staff writer. When I was young in Hollywood, I was writing for a lot of people. So I wrote a lot of songs, and that became kind of people didn't know that, but I write songs. So I brag here with all these guys here as I can write a song in 30 seconds. So they can't, so I'll go in the room and do something. The other day I wrote a hip hop song, and I got out to the studio, and Bailey goes like this. So I pride myself on writing, and to be honest, it's been a great career. I went from a musician, songwriter, guitar player, then I owned a studio in Hollywood, toured the world, signed with Van Halen's manager. I met him when I was 17 selling t-shirts for Van Halen on their first tour. That was crazy. I gotta write a book on that. And then I met Noel, and later on he became my manager. I talked him into managing. So I got to, do all those things, and then I formed The Kids, then Kid Curry, then KK Wild, and then KK Wild ended up in this huge lawsuit of the guy I started with in San Antonio. Okay. And I wrote this book called Eddie and I, the story of me and that guy, called Cocaine Cowboys, which is the record we did that had a resurgence for 25 years underground. Well, he found God one day in the middle of our tour and left with a big financial lawsuit. So we ended up in court, and then that dissolved the partnership, but the record lived for 25 years. So now, as old as we are, we got back together without Eddie, and we did a record and a video, and it's been a real big success, and we're real proud of it.
So how do you see how music has transformed from back in the day to today?
Yeah, the work ethic. Think about it. When we had to do a song, there was no auto-tune, tuning vocals, no computer editing. So we had to literally track the song, record it almost perfectly, close to it, or do it many more times over and over. Therefore, you get used to really creating a great amount of tenacity and strength in your playing, because you have to. And today, we can have people walk in the studio, and I'm not going to say talentless, but not without the ability to play great, and we can make them sound really good. And in my day, and even where I practice today, normally you couldn't do that. You had to record. So I see the state with not even AI, let's say pre-AI. I see it as a very synthesized state, because you can get away with so many tricks to make you sound good.
Chris, thank you so much for having us today.
I had a blast. I love talking about
Me
these times
too.
and everything.
Yeah, me too.
It can shed a little light on someone
Yes.
about the past business and that I'm still in the present business.
And I'm excited to see where you keep going with the business.
Yes, I'm a dinosaur. I'm going to last.
Yes, you are.
Like chihuahuas, cockroaches, and dinosaurs, and Chris Lieck.
Incredible story and an unforgettable artist. I'm Chelsea Boone, and we'll see you next time on the American Dream TV.